Yani mıdat? Yeah, just give it a second. Yeah, mıdat everyone. We're just gonna get started in a few minutes here. Just started in just a couple of minutes. Yalimalat everyone, we are just waiting a couple more minutes for other parents and students to join, so just bear with us. We'll get
UN5-3, there are 10 participants in this conference. Please announce yourself. Muted.
Richmond.
Yalimalat everyone, we're just gonna wait a few more minutes and we'll get started.
All callers are muted and they can unmute themselves.
Okay, Yalamas everyone. My name is Ali Khan. I am the project manager for the National College Expedition this year. Thank you all for joining our parent-student orientation. We're going to go ahead and get started. Everyone right now is on mute. We will allow you to unmute yourself at the end of the call to ask any questions. We have some information to present here. If you received our emails earlier, you've got a copy of our presentation, and if you'd like to follow along, please do so. But in the meantime, we will go ahead and get started. So first of all, welcome. We are very excited for this trip. Our staff here has been working tirelessly over the last 6 months preparing for this next weekend in Boston. We're really excited. All of our staff is really looking forward to meeting all of the students. This is a very rare opportunity. We have a lot of really cool speakers coming in, very interesting tours and sessions we've set up with very unique people, and we're really glad that your students are able to join us. The one thing that I'll say is that we had a very rigorous application process this year, one of the highest student application pools we've had in recent years. And so that in itself is a really big accomplishment for you and your students. So congratulations to them, and we're really looking forward to meeting all of these very bright students in just a couple of weeks here. So first of all, off the bat, I'd like to say that we value your time and trust. Thank you for trusting us with your students for this weekend. We know for some of them it will be their first time flying alone to another city and being on their own, and we take that very seriously. Obviously we have a lot of goals and objectives for this trip that we want to make sure that we accomplish. Get them exposed to a lot of schools in Boston and get them some more information on the college application process. But safety is also our number one priority throughout the weekend, from the time they land in Boston to the time we send them off on their planes. We do take that very seriously, and we want to thank you for trusting us to take care of them for this weekend. We also want to thank you for trusting us in being a part of their future, because we really think that this trip will have an important and significant impact on their future college plans and, hopefully the rest of their lives. This trip will be very challenging. It will be very tiring. We're going to do a lot over the weekend. It's a jam-packed weekend. Your students will have to think a lot and, meet a lot of different people. They'll be meeting mentors. They'll be meeting their fellow peers from across the country. So it will be very challenging for them, but it will also, at the end of the day, be very rewarding. And that's what we hope. At the end of this trip, they come out with some new friends, some mentors to help them throughout the college application process, as well as a wealth of information about Boston and being a college student, and really just feeling more comfortable with who they are and what they want to do. That's really our goal, is to help them understand what their passions are, and help them turn that into a career after college. So with that, we'll talk a little bit more in detail about all of these things, but let's get started. First, I'd like to introduce our team here. Like I said, my name is Ali Khan and I'm the project manager. Arish Sajwani is one of our logistics coordinators, along with Hassan Hemani. And then Sonia Jamani is our content coordinator. So I'll pass it on to Hassan, who's going to take us through the rest of the presentation.
Hey, Ali, can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Awesome. Yeah, so like Khan said, I'm going to take you through our team. As you can see, we have both male and female mentors. It's kind of split down the middle, kind of the ratio that we have among their students as well. A lot of our mentors come from very different backgrounds and majors. The reason why we do that is to offer a broad spectrum to the students, because we want them to get a perspective of older brothers and sisters who have different work opportunities, different collegiate and academic backgrounds. So it allows them to understand what different majors are, what they really are in terms of the academic perspective, and see if they have those interests to be able to ask those questions. It also allows them to get to know different career backgrounds and perspectives and get a lot of questions answered. So One thing I do want to say about our mentors is that they did go through a rigorous application process. So these were if not worse, sorry, are the finest batch of mentors that we had from all our applicants this year, as well as just like the student applications. Our mentor application is some of the most that we've had in a long time. So this very unique and great batch of mentors that we have is our finest to provide the best to our students coming on this trip. But we also want to notate that our mentors aren't just here to volunteer and provide their time and energy, as well as their advice and knowledge, but they are paying to mentor the students. So you know that means that they're very serious about this. They are passionate about sharing their knowledge and educating the youth of Archimont and the future of Archimont. So all these have been very committed and passionate and dedicated in understanding to what this program entails. Traditionally, what the approach with our mentors was that they'd come on the trip, they'd meet the students, they'd have a couple of sessions, and then they'd help the students out post NCE. This year we made a conscious effort to allow our mentors to understand that after the weekend in Boston, that the mentoring doesn't end. It only begins. All our mentors do have an understanding that from here on out, whether and helping them through this college application process up until they get towards college. We made that very clear, and they've all been very passionate about that long-term mentorship, that long-term older brother and older sister relationship. So I'm going to move on to our mentors, more into our schedule. So as you'll see, there is a list of schools that we'll be attending, as well as some other items. I'll kind of just go through this in terms of what the day looks like, what each day looks like at NCE. The students do arrive on Thursday. They come in through the afternoon, where once they get to Boston, they text us and we send a staff member to receive them and take them to our central location. From there, then we transport them all to the hotel. Then the first night, Thursday evening, we do introductions. They meet all the mentors. They hear about the background, and they also get to introduce each other. So it's a cool way for them to meet each other, link up, and see other Smiley students across the nation. Then we have our first evening session at night, that Thursday night, which kind of gives them a preparation of what the weekend looks like, and kind of gets their mind and blood flowing of what to expect. Friday, we go to our first two schools, and we keep this day a little bit lighter, a little more fun, just because we don't want to throw too much at them too fast. So the first two schools we go to are Boston College and then Babson. And then that evening, what we do is we do have a fun event. They get to kind of go on an event and see and tour, the sights of Boston and understand, just kind of see the city and have a little fun with that. And then from there, we go back to the hotel, and then we do another evening session they do another evening session with their mentor. The next day is more of a jam-packed day, Saturday. They've kind of seen what a tour looks like. They're more prepared, and they've kind of dipped their feet a little bit into the water. So we add a little bit more. So in the next three schools we go to on Saturday are Harvard, MIT, and Boston University. After we go through those schools, we have and do some of the workshops and sessions there. We do attend Kane on Saturday night, and no, we don't go back to the hotel. We go straight to Kane from the tour. So it is a very long, rigorous, and strenuous day. It does get tiring. We do give them a lot of information, and it is very jam-packed. But we know the students can handle it. Some of our best and brightest here for it. They're here to learn. They want to see these schools, and we try to make it as fun as possible while we are on these tours and with these sessions. We try to make sure that they get as much value and education out of it as possible. Lastly, the last day is Brown. So it is kind of a far 1 hour away. We do go from school to school with on charter buses. So we visit Brown in the morning. We do a tour there. We meet students there, and then we come back to the airport where Sunday afternoon. We make sure that they get to the right terminal, and then they fly back home. So that's kind of what the schedule looks like. Just some things to note is that during the weekend, like I said, we have some fun activities, and we do have night sessions. But like I said before, it is a jam-packed weekend. There's a lot of information being shared, and we just want to make sure the students are prepared for that. We want to let you as parents know, to let your students know that there is going to be a lot of information, and to make sure they are paying attention, that they are taking notes, that they're getting the benefit of this. This is a very unique opportunity that other students don't get, whether it's in our community, our Smiley community, or outside our Smiley community. It's a very rare and great program, so really take advantage of this weekend. That's kind of the schedule. So next I'll go into the content portion of what the weekend looks like. I'm going to break this out into 3 categories. The first category I'm going to go over is kind of what we provide them with content binders or these PDFs. So it is within this content package that they get. They do have information such as our mentors' bios and profiles, so they get more information of what we are, what the mentors are. That way they can refer back to it. They have school profiles that list what you can see on the school website. So SAT scores, percentage, ratios, location, environment, a lot of generic statistics that can be accessed via the internet. And then in that content, in those content binders, we do kind of give them outlines of roadmaps to colleges, and then whatever we have in our mentor sessions, we provide content and a framework for that in their content binder as well. The next part I will be speaking to is the sessions during the trip. While we're on the trip, we do get to speak. We do have a session with the professor, and we do have a round-robin sessions, which includes helping them understand the best way to write a college essay. We do have visual aid. We have one about resume building. This is kind of a newer one that we felt was very important, because not only is it important for students to have a resume and have that prepared ahead of time, but it's kind of a tool that will allow them to easier fill out their college application. And then lastly, we do have a session about the college application process, strictly the Common App, because a lot of universities and schools may use that. I just want to take a pause and note that I do realize that we might be having some technical difficulties on our webcam. We do apologize for that. The slides might not be showing. But if you don't mind just going through the PowerPoint that we have sent out, we are on the 5th slide in our content section. So yeah, and then after we go through our day sessions, that included the college essays, the financial aid, our resume building, and our common application preparation, we do have evening sessions. And these evening sessions are 1-on-5 with their assigned mentors, 5 students in the group, and their 1 mentor they're assigned to. And it kind of does a debrief of what the day looked like. We provide them an activity or a session to kind of get them a better understanding of what the college application process looks like, some critical thinking activities, just to make sure that they are getting the best value from the weekend of the program. And then the last section I'll go over, so now we're on slide 6 for those who are able to follow, is our frequently asked questions section. This is important because there are some things that we do want to cover now, things that we can cover that you probably will have questions over at the end of this presentation. And then also, we do have most of these questions answered on our website. So first I want to talk about what our students should wear. As you know, we are going to be walking around a lot. We are doing a lot of college tours. There are long days when we are on our feet. So what I do want to mention is that our students should be wearing comfortable, presentable attire, as we are representatives of our Smiley community. We are in, I wouldn't say a professional setting, but we are in settings where we shouldn't look, I guess, sloppy or messy, but we should kind of look well kept. We are going to meet some faculty. We are meeting some official tour guides. We are a representation of our community on campus. One thing I do want to note is that on Saturday we do go to Kanye as well, so we don't go back to the hotel to change. So you do want to look presentable. I believe it is Sabata that Saturday in Kanye as well. So just make sure we do look nice and presentable to attend Kanye. And then lastly, we do want to make sure we've had conditions in the past. We stress this every year. But sneakers, wear comfortable walking shoes. Can't say that enough. We don't want students to be bothered that their feet are hurting or that that they're just tiring out because they're on their feet so much. So do wear comfortable shoes. Sneakers are the best way to go. We will be walking a lot. So, and then lastly, around Boston around this year, we will try to provide a better weather update closer to the trip. But it does get a little rainy. It is gloomy. Sometimes it can be a little chilly. We do prefer students do pack a jacket just in case for any other weather situation. The next topic I want to talk about is bringing your computer on the trip. And the simple answer for that is not recommended, so no. Just because our schedules are so packed, we're out and about on these college campuses, and when we come back, we usually have an activity and then a night session with the mentor, and then we try to get our students in bed as early as possible to get them as much sleep, just so they are prepared, they're focused, and they're ready for the next day. So we really don't recommend bringing a laptop or a computer of any sort to the trip, as there's just really not much time to use them. Also, we do know that a lot of students have cell phones now. So yes, you can certainly bring your cell phone, but be respectful and mindful for your mentors who are coming to volunteer and help you, and some of the people that are showing us around, our tour guides as well as our speakers. So we don't recommend using them, but you can have them with you. On our website, which is www.nationalcollegeexpedition.com, we do have a packing list that has a little more detail of what to bring for the weekend. As we get closer to the date, like I mentioned, we will send kind of a weather update, but we will also send details on what to do when your students arrive to the airport. Ideally, what it looks like is once your student arrives, they text us, and then we send a staff member towards the terminal to receive them and bring them back to our central location. Last little thing I do want to mention is that on the trip, we do provide some meals, not all, so there will be 3 meals that they will need to pay for to the weekend. So make sure that your student has a form of payment that they can bring and use on the trip. And then also I want to mention, one of the frequently asked questions, that students do have day mentors, which some of them have met, some of them will be, and that they are paired up with. Those are the primary mentors that will be kind of focusing on the development of the process. But in the evenings, they also are paired with a night mentor, which is the same gender. Students of the same gender will be paired up in a room, in rooms to go to sleep, and there will be a night mentor kind of monitoring and make sure they are in bed, they are getting rest, there for a sense of support as well, just in case they have any other questions. That is the last topic that I had for questions. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you kind of shout out what questions we have on our comment sections first. We'll run through those, and then once we run through those, we'll open up and allow those to ask questions if there are still any.
Okay, great. So we'll open up, like Preston said, we'll open it up to questions over the phone in just a second. And in order to do that, just press *6 on your phone to unmute yourself.
You want to read off any questions if there are any?
Sure.
Yes, I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so if I'm getting driven, where should I go? Since I live nearby Boston and I don't need to take a flight, or I'm taking a bus.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so that depends on what time you're arriving. So just go ahead and it depends what time you're arriving into Boston. If you're coming earlier or later, could just
But
send
I
it.
would come in between the time slot that you guys have given us.
Okay. Just shoot us an email, and with the details of where to get dropped off, we'll probably ask you to get dropped off to the hotel.
Okay.
For anyone who's watching the webcast online on the YouTube channel, you can ask questions by commenting on the video, and we'll be sure to present them. So we'll give people a couple of minutes to do that if they have any other questions. But over the phone, again, if you have a question, just press *6 to unmute yourself. All right, so it doesn't seem like there are any other questions. We'll stay on the line here for a few more minutes if anyone has any other questions. Outside of that, you can always feel free to email us, nationalcollegeexpedition@gmail.com, if any other questions come up. But thank you all for joining, and we're looking forward to meeting you in a couple of weeks.
Hi, can I ask you something?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so once the students arrive, okay, they have to text you guys. You have somebody available at the time of arrival for them at the terminal.
That's correct.
Okay, so they just go ahead and text you, and somebody will escort them to the proper place, right?
Right. Yeah, and we'll send you an email in the next probably the Sunday before the trip with all that information, who they need to send the text message to, and how they'll get picked up.
Sure. How many days you guys gonna attend Carnival? Like Friday? Just only on Saturday?
Just Saturday.
Okay. So basically, this college expedition gonna help them prepare for their college careers and things like that, and for their essays and things like that, everything like that, right?
Right.
Be very informative and all that.
Right. Not only are we going to go visit the colleges to try and figure out what the best fit for them is, but we also want to help them for the college application process and providing mentoring and resources for that as well. So essays and the common application, all of that.
Okay. Scholarships.
That's our content, grants, loans, and how to get them.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, Alikhan, there are a couple questions online.
Okay, Arsh, do you want to go ahead and read those out?
First, you sent information of our ticket. Will someone be there, or do we need to text y'all? I think we just covered that with the last question.
Yeah, we have your flight information and we'll be monitoring your flight, but you should still send us a message when you land.
Okay. Next question. It says, hi, I am currently a Canadian student and will be traveling to Boston as an international traveler. Flying to the US, have to go through U.S. Customs. And if they ask me why I'm entering the United States, what should I say? Will there be an official document of some sort explaining this?
That's a good question. Official documentation, feel free to send us an email and we can send you over a document if you'd like. But, we'd recommend just saying that you're here in the area. And that should
We have some.
Yeah, targeted not only to the college application process, but also the ninth and 10th graders who might not have had as much exposure to what the college application process looks like and how it works. We'll go through the very basics and the fundamentals of, how to pick a college, how to apply to college. All that information will be covered throughout the weekend.
And just to expand on that, we will have in our content packages like basic terminology, basic preparation through your high school and schooling. So there are activities that aren't just focused on our the students that are going directly into the college application process, but ways and best practices to prepare yourself as you approach that year 11 grader, grade 11 here.
Okay, Arish, any other questions from online?
No, that's it so far.
Okay. Does anyone else have any other questions over the phone? Again, *6 to unmute yourself.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When we go to the colleges, will we be meeting with the admission staff or like any professors? Like, what exactly will we be doing on the tours? so that we have like an idea of what we're kind of like being, like what we're gonna be doing. Like, what exactly who are we gonna be meeting? Like, what are we gonna be doing on the tours exactly?
Mhm.
Like, I know it's pretty self-explanatory, but will we be meeting with different professors and just like admission staff? And will we be talking like about our college, like different? Like, do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. So that's a good question. At the very minimum, at all the colleges that we visit, we'll be doing a tour. So that means we'll have a tour guide. We'll walk around the school. The tour guide will tell us, where different things are happening at the school, a little bit of background on the history of the school, and some of just the key information that is good to know about. That'll be at the very least for every school that we visit. There will be some schools where we'll have an opportunity to meet with admissions officers, and other schools where we'll have an opportunity to meet with professors. That doesn't happen at every school. It only happens at a few of the schools that we're attending. At one school, we'll hopefully be looking at a dorm, and hopefully at all of the schools, we'll be able to give you some time to talk to some of the current students who attend there if you have any specific questions.
Okay, thank you.
Ali Khan, there's another one online.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. When my daughter will be coming, reaching over there, the chaperone or the mentors are going to be receiving them, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So that information is the contact information for that person. Are you going to be sending it or?
Yeah, we will email you next Sunday. So I believe
Next
that
Sunday, okay.
yeah, that'll be April 17th. Yeah.
Okay, and what about so they're going to be doing the tour, and are they going to be doing the class visit, attending in class, any of the universities? Or?
I don't think we'll be attending any classes this year, but we will have a session with a couple of professors. So they'll be able to interact with some of the professors.
Oh, okay. And what about like Sunday schedule in the morning time? What they're going to be doing?
Sunday morning, we'll be checking out of the hotel, and we will be taking a tour of Brown University, which is in Rhode Island. So it's a bit of a drive, about an hour outside of Boston, and then we'll do our tour there. We'll eat lunch over there, and then we'll head straight to the airport.
To the airport. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
No problem. Arish, you said you had a question online?
Yeah, there's two questions here. The first one is, what if the student is interested in a major not offered by the school we are visiting? Will y'all help to find the information?
Yeah, definitely. And I think Hassan mentioned that, we have a great diverse group of mentors attending this trip. So almost, we cover almost all the majors between this mentor group. We have a wide variety of mentors with different interests who are either studying different things or are working in different fields. So even if the schools that we attend might not necessarily fit your particular interest, you'll hopefully be able to find someone on the trip who has a little bit more experience in the field that you're thinking about.
And then definitely that long-term relationship that we're asking our mentors to build with their students and mentees, that over time, as students discover what they do want to do, what they are interested in, that the mentors will be able to provide support, feedback, and just ways to go about looking at that. All right. The next question here is, will you get a letter from the schools that we can submit to our attendance board? I can actually answer that question. In our student package that was sent out with the acceptance, there is a attendance form from NCE included in there. So we will also be getting forms from two of the schools, inshallah, the that we're visiting. One for sure, but we will have a component more.
All right. Any other questions?
Oh, hold on, one more question.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. Hi, I am flying from Malaysia and will be at Memphis before NCE and Dallas afterwards. I will be having a bigger luggage bag alongside my hand carry. It was instructed on the website to bring a hand carry. However, I will be bringing a bigger luggage bag as well.
That's fine.
One more question.
Okay.
When is the NCE homework due?
So we want you to do that before you get to Boston. So ideally before the following Thursday, so April 21st.
Hi, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so the homework, will we be printing it out and bringing it to NCE, or do you want us to email you with my answers?
Are you talking about which piece of the homework are you talking about?
The high school planning timeline.
Yeah, just bring that with you if you want to just write it down or print it out. You don't have to email it to us. Just bring it with you on the trip.
All right. And when will are we going to be getting emails for the mentor mentee Google Hangout?
Yeah, if your mentor hasn't reached out to you, they will be doing that by the end of this week. If you don't hear from someone by the end of this week, let us know. But by Sunday, you should be receiving an email from your mentor, and they'll set up their Google Hangout with you.
And I've never used Google Hangout, so just like directions, or I can just find my way.
Yeah, they'll just reach out to them, and they'll be able to help you figure that out.
Thank you.
Just for some context for everyone there, the mentors will be reaching out to their day groups, if they haven't already, just to schedule an online video chat, just to get everyone oriented, get everyone to know each other before the trip happens. So I know some of them have already taken place. Others will take place later this week and next week. So your students should be on the lookout for emails from their mentors on talking with them before they come to Boston.
Okay, see you guys.
All right, no problem. Any other questions? Remember, *6 to unmute yourself. We can still stay on for a couple more minutes here if anyone else has any other questions.
I have another one.
Sure, go ahead.
I know what we're going to be doing, but you guys just recommend us to bring like a small hand carrier, just a small suitcase, right?
Mm-hmm.
So not too much.
Yeah, we recommend not needing to bring a bag big enough to check in. If you could carry it on, it just makes things easier for the weekend.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. With that, I think we'll end here. Again, if you have any other questions, feel free to email us, nationalcollegeexpedition@gmail.com. Thank you all for joining, and we look forward to meeting you in just a couple of weeks.